Hello and welcome back. We are continuing looking at various things to help us through our Python certification. This time we're going to look at modules. We have touched on these along the way, but now let's take a closer look into these things. Now, modules in the past, we've seen a few examples where we do an import and then we give it a name. That would be a module. Now, for this example, we've got a couple of files today that we're working with. So I have a module, which is I'm calling my mod, and all it's got is a variable my name, and it's got a function called add. We've seen this add before. Now, what happens when we bring in a module? So if I do, and the module name is based on the file name other than the .py. So I can do an import, and this one's actually going to be intelligent enough, it sees it right there, import my mod. And so now I can do print my mod dot my name, or I can do my mod dot add, and I'm going to do 2,3. I think that's got to be a string. And so now, if I can find this, clear that crap out, and if I do what I call it, modules, there we go. And so I can see that it's going to print out here. It prints the name and it prints the functions. Now I've added those in. I can use these in multiple places. So I could take actually some of these examples I have here where I have these nice little functions and helpers, and all of this becomes available if I just do a full import. Now let's look at, because I've imported it, I do want to show you that name. And we can see here, so you can get a name out of a module, in case you wanted to know. This is essentially, again, for some of the other things we've done that are more dynamic. But you can grab the module name, and you can see here that's what it is. So it's typically going to be, it's going to be exactly this. And it's because this name function was actually imported when I did this import my mod. Now separately, let's push these down, because what I'm going to do, another thing I can do is I can name what I want to pull in. So let me go back to my mod, and I'm going to do add, and let's do multiply. So not much difference there. Now, let's see, if I come here and I do import my mod, I'm going to be able to see, again, that I can do my mod dot multiply 2,3, and it prints out 6, all is well in the world. I can also do, an import my mod. Let's see, I want to do, so now I'm going to change a little bit, and I'm going to do from my mod import, what was it called, add. And if I do that, multiply is not going to work anymore. And note that all of these have gotten bad according to this, and we're going to see that, look, my mod is not defined. So if I do from my mod import add, then I can do, let's move this guy up here. Now I'm importing that function. I'm not actually importing the module. And so I'm also going to see here, my mod.name is no longer going to be available. But here I can directly do add. And we see that that add works because I've simply added this function. I've brought this function in, I've imported it. And so with this name, it is basically just a part of this. part of this class. Now this gives us an example. There's a good little thing we can look at is let's do print dir my mod. So first, let's just do the import my mod because we can actually see some information about this as we've seen when we did our class stuff. So now when I do my mod, I can see this is all what has come in. Built-ins, cached, doc file loader name, which we've seen, packaging spec, and then add multiply my name. So those are those functions in that variable that are brought in as part of it. Now, if I do this, let's see, so if I just do add, now my mod is no longer available. And this is not quite, it's not going to allow me to do that. I don't think. Yeah. Oh, here we go. And so here, if I just do a derf, this is for this script, because it's just a straight script. When I do that import add and do a directory, notice that add is there. So I can also do add comma multiply. And now I can get this in. And now we're going to see that I have add and multiply. Those are now part of this script, and I can see where multiply works. So I can actually pull in just specific things, and also note that the my name is not available. I have not imported it, so it's not available anywhere. Now if I do both, then everything's going to work fine. But we would just have to, it really wouldn't, I guess it could be moderately confusing because you have to actually have add, but you also have mymod.add. But this still works because it says, all right, I'm just going to add it all in, and you can still see where add, multiply, and mymod are all in. They don't show up twice, even though they exist twice, or they were imported twice, essentially. And note that I have the availability to get to those. One is this add and multiply. I get to it through this script, or I get to it through the import. So if I bring an import in, then I reference it that way. Now I can also change that. So I could do import my mod as m, and then that means I'm going to come in here and do this. And now it's all going to work, but now it's referred to as m. We can see here, everything worked. The name is still going to be the correct name. So it's going to show me what the actual name is, even though I have essentially aliased it out as a different name here. Now I could also do, instead of this line where I do add and multiply, I can do from my mod import star, and let's just get rid of this one here, and let's see what it gets when I do the and let's get rid of this guy, and let's see what it adds to this local script when I do the dir of it. And we can see here, because I added star, it brought my name in as well. So I can either bring functions or variables. So this import star is the same as if I did add, multiply, and my name. And note that it realizes that it doesn't need that. There we go. And so I've got all of those. Now note here, because I did my import as m, I didn't point to this earlier, m is now available. So these are things that I can do stuff with, whether it's a function or a variable. So since I've brought a module in under a specific name, then that's how how the script essentially sees it. And so I can also do, let's change this around a little bit. So let's just comment that out for now. Now I can also do import add as, let's say a multiply as mu, actually let's do ad, and my name as MN. And now I could change it to AD. So I can change also not only my module names, but I can also change my functions. And so let's see, I'll just do that. I'll do that twice. So now instead of that, it's going to be MN. So I can do that. And now I can see up here, here's my short names. You see that called my name in both those cases. Now, an interesting thing we could do is I could say, I'm going to take M. I'm going to do this. And this shows me in PyCharm what I just did because I did multiply as M. Then I'm going to have some stuff break because M was imported as a module, and now I've overwritten it. And so let's see what happens. Boom. Right here, oh, that was MU. So let's just do M. And so now, when I come down here, when I do the m.myname, it doesn't exist anymore because the M that I imported is, I didn't get that far into it to be able to print the name, but I was, so I could do this. Let me move this up a little bit. And so here I can see, let me put something right there just to show, let's see, what is M? So here, what is M is multiply. So M is this guy. But if I call him MU, then when I do what is M? Now it's my mod. So you have to watch out. It's not necessarily going to let you know when you overwrite stuff. And note it's top to bottom. So whatever you set last is the one that's going to take. So you can get into some issues with that. Now, one other thing with modules that we need to be aware of is the idea of packages. And so now what I did is I've got a package called samples, which is just a folder that has this init py, and then it's got this mymod. Now, this mymod has add2. This is different from, let me do it like this. This is different from, let's do this way as well, from the one that we used. So, which is where you could run into stuff. So now I can do import samples.mymod as M, and it's going to blow up in a bunch of places because now it actually has, so m.myname doesn't exist, but my name 2 does. So let me do my name 2 first. This may blow up in a couple places. Boom, boom, boom. No, it made it. So my mod 2. But then when it tried to call my name, because it's not my mod, it's samples.mymod. So I could do samples.mymod as SM, and then I could do my mod as M, and now I'm specifying which package I'm working with, and boom, everything works. Now this init is going to be something that you can throw out for anything within that package. So if I wanted to move my name to, let's leave that one. But let's say that within here, I'm just going to do my name equals samples package. And then come in here and do, actually, let's just do this. I'm going to keep it very simple. I'm going to do samples package init fired. And let's see where that comes up. So that's probably easier to see what goes on. So notice this is right at the beginning. When I do the import, it kicks off that value. It kicks off that script. And I can do things. Let's see, it would not be, well, let's try this. Let's do it this way. So I'm going to define, if I go here and I define, let's just call it me. I don't give it anything, and then it's just going to do print me. Me. Let's see. Oh, that's what it doesn't like. Okay, so if I do define me, and now come into my script and do a dir, let's see what happens. And so we see here that it's not available, that me did not show up. However, let's look at, let's try samples.me and see what it does. Oh, I'm sorry, not samples. SM dot. And so I can't access it here either. We're going to find out, or can I? Boom. Not, yeah, samples my mod has no attribute. Because here, although I've executed it for any package, I'm going to see this. So let me, let's go ahead and duplicate this on my mod 2. So it's going to be the same thing. But just to show you, I can go, let's go back to Init. Well, that'll stay the same because I don't really need to do anything with him. But if I go to, whoops, if I go to modules and now I do my mod 2, and it's SM2, then let's go look at here. Whoops, I don't want to call this because that's just going to break it. Well, and now we can see, let's see. It's fired, and so it's only fired once. We don't see it fired a second time. It's the first time I hit anything in this package, it's going to do stuff. What is this stuff? I don't know. It could vary. There's probably some reasons to have packages where you may want to maybe log that this is being used or something like that. Or there may be some additional setup. I don't know, maybe some resources you want to bring in, things like that. It may bring in some additional imports. So you could have these packages all need certain things available that it would need to bring that in. So I could do, well, I'm not going to get too complicated at that because then we'll start getting pretty long into this. But it's really the important thing is to understand the different ways that you can bring in modules. Packages, the only way in this init __init __, that has to be in a folder for it to be a package. If I delete this file, let's just take that and I'm just going to rename it to not init. Yes, do the refactor. And so now when I do that, this thing's going to totally blow up because samples. Oh, no, it did take it. Okay, it did allow for that. Used to be you were not supposed to have that. Let me see if I delete it. Let's just make sure. Do refactor. There we go. Okay, so we are good. It used to be that you had to have that init. That was how you noted that it was a package, but apparently now it's gotten to a point where you just need a folder and you can refer to that folder as needed. You can use the init as a way to, as I said, to do some additional work once you're getting into that package. I think that's good enough for now. We will wrap this one up. And as always, the code will be out in the repository. You can see links in the show notes. Take a look at those. We're getting there. We're, I don't know, about 75-80% of the way through this at this point. And there's a couple things left that are sort of common things. Like we're going to deal with some file I/O and stuff like that. So we're getting there. Just stick with it. And before you know it, we will be to a point where we can go jump out there and take a shot at getting a Python certification. As always, go out there and have yourself a great day, a great week, and we will talk to you next time.